Scott, what's the case of Damien's selection on the bench and Bowden to start? Is it a case of Damien being dropped, or is it something else?
That's an opening question. No, we're always planning to get Bowden to go. You have to, like he's played and started every game till now. He shows some great form, and we've got to give guys opportunities and build depth in our team. And it's a nice chance for Bowden to play outside TJ. They've got a combination. They've played a lot of games together, and they've played a lot of games together at the Cape Town, so it lines up nicely.
And TJ comes in for Cortez. The reasoning there?
He's playing good footy. You know, they can mix and match. When he started, he's been great. When he's come off the bench, he's played well as well, and you've got a great 9-10 combo.
When you think about things like winless streak and winless run in Wellington, last home test of the year, last Rugby Championship test, how important is a statement performance this weekend?
Oh, it's really important. It's something we've addressed, something we're really well aware of. Like the rest of the New Zealand public, it's a record that we're not proud of, and the way you deal with records is by performances. So that's been our main focus this week. Good performance and something that the crowd can be proud of, and New Zealanders. Yeah.
Scott, how much does the struggles with the bench, the finishing final quarters and all that become almost a self-fulfilling prophecy? In other words, kind of the guys feel the pressure and maybe you're a bit anxious. I mean, you're obviously looking hard at it, but not finding the answers.
Yeah, there's a few things that come along with it. You know, that we've looked at around the accuracy and the discipline and, the experience of the group that are coming on, and then at the end of the day, you just focus what do you need to do, what is it going to look like, so when you put it into action and how you execute, so focus on solutions around it, and we train it and get on with it.
Is that the main reasoning behind Patrick's inclusion back on the bench, or is it just a case of him being fit again?
Always fit, it's good to have him in, 45 tests. Experienced, just what you need, and Wally Fox to come on and has experienced coming off the bench, starting, been in different environments. So he's a wee cuddle for us. People trust him, and he's just what we need.
There's been a direct correlation between now that we've had enough tests this year, between the amount of yellow cards getting given out and the sort of lack of scoring at the back end. Do you see that as something that's linked, and how much work is going on to fix that? Yeah,
well, obviously they are linked. When you get a yellow card, you're going to give 6 points away on average, and like we warned you, there's a little offside there, and then you've got a tap ball in the air, and the guys owned it. It's something that's a little bit of individual, and also as a group, and we've got to be better than that, and that's what we're focused on.
What's been your message to Damien, and what do you expect from him in that bench role?
Oh, he's had a great season to date. There's areas of his game he can get better and come on and be DMAC. He can play. He's created a lot for us. He's one of the highest line breakers in the comp. He can wave a wand and take a gap. So, and also come on and game manage what we need to do to finish the match.
What does Billy Popkin need to do to get a run in this
game? Well, this week, obviously, just because of 12 cover with Dave, we looked heavily at, Billy. We want him to play. We just felt the fact that he hasn't played 12, no one has played 12, and with Geordie being out, Dave's accustomed to that position. Rico's definitely not going to be going into 12, or Billy hasn't played there enough, so we just felt with the mix of this back line, it's a hard call on Billy, look, we'd love to have got him out in front of the home fans, but we just feel like this is the best thing for the All Blacks, so he won't be far away, Billy. Yeah.
Razor, you mentioned Rico won't be shifting into 12. A lot of fans on social media would love to see him on the wing, but you've stuck with him at 13. What have you liked about Rico at outside centre this year?
Oh, he's playing good footy. He's distributing. He's carried. He's made some great decisions. He's been a really good leader for us. We think he's grown his game, and look, he responded once we asked him to, and his performances have matched what we've asked, and look, it's going good.
Can you speak on TJ? It's potentially it is going to be his last test at home. Can you just speak on what he means to this team?
Look, TJ's he's a character. He's got a hell of a personality, which you need in any sport. Hugely proud of his culture. He's someone that speaks what he thinks, and great All Black. He's performed for a long period of time. He's come back from injuries. The fortitude that he's shown over the period of time, you've got to give it to him. You know, he fights back. He's AB tough. You know, he's a competitor and a winner. So it's great that I could be a part of, you know, his career and see how much it means to him as an All Black and how much he's given to this team.
Wayne Smith's also been in camp. Has he been working more with the coaches, with the players? What camp?
Just observing, you know, like he's been in and around. He's been sending a few messages as he does. He loves a review on Sunday morning, and that's great. You know, just little observations. He's been there. He's done it. As he mentioned the other night, he's had the job a couple of times. You know, he knows the enormity of the job and just a little bit of guidance and advice, and he's just observed and does what we've done well and made some suggestions as well.
Razor, I know it's early in the World Cup cycle, so you know it's not really about results and just getting to the goal. But as a serial winner at the Crusaders, you know the All Blacks have coughed up the Rugby Championship. Like that's a trophy you won last year. Does that hurt, or you just focused on the main game?
I think part of the All Blacks is winning. You're winning and develop. You don't develop and win. And which I've said before, of course, it hurts you that you haven't continued that part of the legacy on. You know, look, we've all owned that we can be better in different areas, but we've also focused on what we're doing really well. You know, we made a lot of line breaks. Most of any team we've focused on areas that we can get better to finish teams. You know, we had opportunities to win every game and we haven't. So there's some key parts of growing some players there to come through. You know, we've got a lot of fresh faces. I think it's 7 or 8 debutants and a lot of guys that are coming on into the game at key times and how we can be better. So there's a bit of a story to the whole point of it, but we'd love to have had the Rugby Championship and the Bearslow.
Scott, just a final one for me on a different tack. As All Blacks coach, would you like to play a test on Anzac Day, or are you happy to keep that for later, test for later in Super Rugby?
In the middle of Super Rugby?
Yeah.
I think talk to Super Rugby first and see what they think about taking the All Blacks out of that. And then we'll talk.
Scott, is Ethan Blackadder injured? He's not listed as injured, but did you consider?
He could have, but with the history of Ethan, we've made a call. We think it's best for him to have another week. He's either 0 or 100 and something, and we just felt for the longevity of this season for him. You know, he's got a few more games ahead of him, or us, and we believe that one more week shall make a massive difference, and you know, might get a little bit of time for his beloved Tasman.
And just on Mark Talia, less than a year ago he was a number one wing in the All Blacks. Now you can't get a look. And what do you need to see from him, or what aren't you seeing from him?
Tough calls with the wingers. You know, obviously Caleb's played some good footy. The opportunities of the balance of it's just the way it's fallen, just with the other wings and the combinations. But look, he's been training hard. He's given everything he can to be selected, and it's just a call we've made. But we know how good he is, and you know he'll get another crack.
Razor, just a word on Tupou.
Can you tell us about Sam King?
Yeah.
Obviously a huge day for him. Look, he's a guy that's been picked by multiple All Black coaches and really loved and admired what he offers, but he's not always been respected, I suppose, or loved by the public as much.
Yeah.
Do you have any theories, you know, why that is?
Oh, look, he's one of those guys you've got to get to know. I think from afar you've got an opinion, but when you actually see him and meet him and what he is and around the environment, he'll say things what others won't. And I don't say that lightly. Like he I mentioned early on, he's a bit of a sheriff. He'll you know, he's got in the holster and he'll fire and say, no, this is how it is, and I'm going to call you out, or this is the All Black standard. And his ability to do it week after week in a tough position. He's broken his neck. He's bounced back. He's consistent on the field, but I think that the leadership part for me is something I really respect. He's been great for us in our environment, and he's performed, more importantly. And you know, it's great that we can give him 100 off the back of playing well, and what he's done over his 10-odd year career.
Do you think there's some element while he wears number 7 He's actually transformed more into playing like a number 6, and he's being judged as a 7, but in fact he's playing in a different role.
I haven't looked at it that way, Gregor, but you could. He knows his way around the field. He's got a good GPS on him. He turns up in the right positions. You saw him get that hard ball on the ground last week against Aussie. He anticipates the game really well, but he reads it, and that's what we need around that leadership. That's a big thing I've learned this year for us, that our leaders in every role that they play, and he's been great for us.
How did I know that Leicester's going to be coming back to New Zealand? How much influence did you have in that? Did you speak to him about kind of come back to New Zealand?
Yep, I had conversations with Leicester along the whole way. He's obviously going to come back and have a family back in New Zealand. That contributed to the decision. He's enjoyed his time on the French Riviera, and he's wants to come back and wear the black jersey. Look, I'm pleased. It's good to get one come back that other way. My job is to create competition and depth in all positions, and for the All Blacks to pick the best team. And when Leicester's on his day, and he can play.
Fraser, can I ask about Tupou Vaa'i? This will be his 7th Test start in a row.
Yep.
He also was off the bench the first 2, so he's in a break. How do you balance his exceptional form with also making sure that you don't overdo it with him?
He is a pro. He is as good as a pro as anyone. First in the pool in the cold plunge in the morning. He's does his homework. He's smart. He's diligent, and he bounces back on a Tuesday and trains really well. So his recovery is right up there. And we just want to keep him rolling. I think that's the biggest thing. He's found a spot. It was a little one of those forced decision selections because of Patrick, and then he's owned it, and then he starts selecting himself. Really, he's been that good.
Scott, you mentioned before about the line breaks, and a few more passes that considering you probably could have blown out the Wallabies. They didn't. It's been a wee bit of a common theme. How far off do you think those are from sticking and from playing?
Yeah, look, there's two things talking about it, and there's been so many small margins and gains and calls from adjudication and, different moments and games that change momentum, and we've got to be better staying at the game. We've got to put the ball on the chest. We've got to have the courage to throw it, but execute it. So we've been, first thing is acknowledge it. That's the first thing about learning, and then in doing it over and over, and trust your skill. Give it at the right time, and that's how you turn it. You turn the tide on it.
Do you feel like you are close to clicking?
Yeah, look, we could have won every Test match. We could have had all along the way. Yeah, we do. You look back, and one thing we have learned of this Test series, and I don't want to get sentimental. It's only early in the piece, but every moment in every Test match has just had little parts of it. We've done something different there, a little call or adjudication call gone the other way could have been different, but we still got to own it, and the conversations have been way deeper probably if we hadn't, but now focus goes to the Test in front of us.
What areas would Mackenzie have to do to improve and to get a starting place in the Melbourne?
Who's that, sorry?
Mackenzie.
We just started the last 8. Well, yeah. Sorry, what else does he have to do?
Yeah, what areas would you have to improve on to be sure to start?
I think continue his current form. Obviously, he's kicking off the tee really, really well. He kicked the touch incredibly well. He's been more consistent with his kicking. He's gotten the team round, and like I said, he's created a lot of opportunities. Now we just got to finish it, and he's a part of it.
What do you want to see from Bowden on the weekend?
I want to see Bowden Barrett, 131 tests at his best. He's a great conductor. He'll get you around the field. Obviously that boots, been impeccable his own career, and just go and own his opportunity, put a bit of heat on us to make sure that we've got 2 world-class teams.
Razor, the Wallabies have dropped down to 10th on the world rankings, but what do you expect from them this weekend?
Ferocious start. It's pretty clear that that's one area they can get better at, and probably more of the same. More plays that we've obviously got done on that first play, which we game 1 there, a little special. So we're going to make sure we stay on. Give them, less of those freebies, but expect a real passionate Wallaby side. they probably can sniff it, and yeah, they'll be dangerous.
As you talk about the Lucy's, competition, we've got Jacobson and obviously Papali'i. How tight was that to call the bench?
It's always tight. Luke's been really, really good. You make a call, and sometimes you back it, and some guys take that opportunity, and there's small margins in those calls, and obviously we want to keep a consistency as much as we could. So especially in that 4-pack, they played together in the last 2-3 weeks. That's one area, the consistency of his selections, and then Luke came on and made a great impact, so that's what we've gone for before, but there's not much in it.
I'm going to have to call it, guys, because we've got 2 guys waiting here.
Thanks, Rosie.
Okay, thank you guys.
Cool. All right, somebody want to kick off with a question?
TJ, grateful for a chance to do well Wellington.
Yeah, definitely am. It's pretty cool that the last test in New Zealand this year is at home. Obviously, I'm going overseas at the end of the year, so the opportunity to represent the country's not there again after this year, so to have the last one and to be playing the last one at home would be cool.
And what are your memories from your debut? I think you might have got pinged for not putting the ball in straight in your first involvement, but then set up a match-winning try right at the end.
Yeah, I think I missed a kick to touch as well at some point in that game. But my first game, I think it was your first game as well, eh? Was it against England?
Was it Dundee?
No, in Auckland. Might have been Malakai Fukitoa as well. I think we debuted on the same day, so fond memories of that, seeing my family right after the game, and to be able to have met my last game in New Zealand will be pretty cool as well.
Any regrets about leaving New Zealand?
No, not at this stage. I think when you look back on your career later on, you might have some, you might not, but I'm content with my decision. We're looking forward to obviously playing this game and whatever the rest of the year holds, but then getting over to Japan and spending more time with my family, playing a new competition over there as well, something I'm looking forward to.
TJ, you had a long association with Bowden, both with the Canes and the All Blacks. Does it feel a wee bit like Back to the Future this week? You guys starting in the halves?
Yeah, it'd be cool, man. It'd be cool. When they named the team the other day, I saw Baz's name at 10. We played a lot of games as 9 and 10 for the Hurricanes, and a lot in the stadium together, so to be able to go out there with my bro at 10 is something I'm excited for and something I cherish.
How much does it mean to be playing here in Wellington?
Means a lot, bro. Like, home is always going to be home. Every opportunity we get to put on a black jersey we're grateful for, but to be able to do it at home in front of your friends and family and the fans that I played for my whole career is pretty special.
TG, you care a lot about this team. Seeing what Cortez did last week, does it give you some nice reassurance that the torch is in good hands at halfback?
Yeah, Tez played really well last week. I think Tez has played well all year. We've got some very good young nines coming through in New Zealand rugby. Cam Roigard is close to being back playing as well, and we all know what he's done in this jersey and in the Hurricanes jersey in the past. So to be able to get him back to full fitness and hopefully playing at the same level, if not better, is something that we all want. And then you've got Noah there as well, who's been playing well, and then some guys who are unlucky to not be in this team as well, with Finlay and Falau. both of those guys. So it just shows the quality of nines that we have in our country at the moment.
TJ, can you speak on what role Whānau has played in getting you to this point?
A massive role, bro. Like, Whānau is, I think for maybe all of us, I can't speak for everyone, but it's the most important thing in our lives. And regardless of if you play rugby, if you're juno, whatever you're doing in life, we look back to our whānau to help us through good times and to help us through bad times and to celebrate good times. So my family has been a massive, I guess, rock for me and a consistent for me throughout my career.
Looking back to the 22-year-old self when you made your debut, what would you say to him now?
Just enjoy the ride. Like, there's a lot of ups and downs that come with what we do. You guys are part of that, which is your job. But the way we play is part of that too. And I would just say to enjoy it for what it is, because, man, it goes quickly.
Do you mean the media were part of the ups or the downs?
Both, I think. You know. And there's no bad blood in that at all. Like, you have a job to do. Your job is to help promote and sell our game, and I understand that a narrative, if it's a negative narrative, can create some form of conflict or conversation about the game, and good and bad conversation on the game actually grows the game. So I get it. I don't always agree with it, but I get it. Yeah.
Just to dig into one of those negative narratives, what's going on with the Wellington hoodoo?
We need to sort that out. That's our job, is to play better here. We haven't been successful here in the last wee while. So for us, we understand that a field or a region doesn't determine whether you win or lose. It's our circle, and we have to own our performance this weekend, and we're looking forward to doing that.
Patrick, welcome.
Hey guys.
How good is it to be back, and how frustrating was it to go down when you were playing some pretty good footy?
Yeah, awesome to be back. Very frustrating, sort of getting the injury, and then just with the rehab and time frame it took to sort of get right. I've never really had calf issues before, and I don't really have calves, so to have a calf issue was probably the most frustrating. But probably more so just watching the team go to South Africa, and then obviously the RG games as well. It's hard being on the sideline or being at home where you feel you can have a bit of input, or where I felt that I could have sort of given something to the team, but that's all part of it, and happy to be back and ready to go.
These finishing woes, no points in the final quarter of the last 5 tests. It's been a consistent issue. What you're part of that bench group this week. What's needed? What can you do? What can that group do to kind of turn this narrative, I guess, around?
Yeah, I suppose the last quarter of games we haven't gone that well, but part of that is probably just being able to focus in the last 20. You got guys who are probably playing some real good rugby and going full tit for 60 minutes, getting into that last 20 bit fatigue. But saying that, rugby's an 80-minute game, and you got to be able to perform there, and that's probably where our weakness is at the moment. But we acknowledge it, and we know that as a bench crew, we've got a job to do when we come on. So we're not just watching the game as it's going. We're actually deep into it and seeing where we can have good input or see where we can add value.
TJ, do you want to go on that interview tour? Just you said your last game will be in New Zealand. Just want to clarify what you meant there.
No, I said the last game in New Zealand, which it is. Well, for this team, I don't know if I'll be able to get a game for the Lions or not. I'd love to go on the India tour. Playing for the All Blacks is the pinnacle of our sport, so every opportunity I get to represent this team is something that I'd love to take.
And what's it been like coming back post the Achilles injury? The goal was to get back into the All Blacks. What's it been like getting in?
It's been awesome. I spoke about hindsight before, and I don't think I'm probably going to refer to it again here, where I'll reflect back on it after the season and be able to, I guess, feel it a little bit more. Right now, I've just got a job to do. My job is to go out there and win a rugby game and impact winning in this environment.
TJ, I know it's a big day for you. It's also a really big day for Sam Keane on Saturday to win his 100th cap.
Yeah.
Can you just give us your thoughts? You've played with him as a captain, you've played with him not as a captain. Just give us your thoughts on what Sam has meant to you.
Sam's a great man. I played schools with him, 20s, and played against him a lot through Super Rugby and that, and then with him in this team a lot too. His influence on this team won't be forgotten. He's been an amazing captain for this team, an amazing player. He's someone that you can rely on, and you know that he's going to show up for you week in, week out. Sam has been, he's been someone that we can always rely on in this environment, and that says a lot about him as a man and as a player, that we can always count on him. Bro.
Paddy, can I ask about Tupo Vai and his performances? What have you made of him?
Yeah, outstanding. I think so. He's come into his own this year, and he's certainly helping leading the forward pack with his work in terms of the line out and just around the park. Just been really impressed with how he's gone about his work. I know sort of got to play with him in his first year when he made his debut, and sort of seen his rise till now. So definitely a bright future ahead of him, and I feel quite proud.
Can I ask you both the same question I asked Razor? That is, you guys have lost the Rugby Championship. It's a title you had the last 4 years. Obviously, the main game's the World Cup's a long way away. Does it matter that you've lost this title? Does it hurt, or are you just focused on long game? Where does that fit?
Yes, it matters, and yes, it hurts. Like, we have an expectation to win every game, and that's our expectation in this environment. Every game we go out there and we want to win. We train hard enough to win, and we believe that we are good enough to win. And to lose the Rugby Championship and to lose any game for us isn't good enough.
TJ, going back to the Northern Tour, what would it mean to you to play again at Twickenham after the journey you've had with the Achilles tendon? Obviously, to close the circle there.
I haven't really thought too much about that. To be fair, that'd be pretty special. The place that I got injured that kept me out for such a long time, to be able to play another Test match there and, like you say, go full circle, that'd be a pretty special moment.
Cool.
Thank you guys. Good luck.
I really love the content. It's awesome.